we have pretty central plane once again, going from the south coast all the way up to Cabrera. And Frost, going to start with you. Where are these teams dropping? What are you seeing?
Penta dropped straight away. I mean, we see them go up to El Alzahar normally, so it's going to be interesting. They're probably going to Puerto Paraiso here. Except from that, it looks pretty normal. Isuba, they drop with the plane no matter, they're a little bit all over the place. So not totally unexpected, but look at it. Looks like it's pretty standard, people finding their spots right now.
When we talk about Miramar, south to north flows better than north to south. It should be a quick rotation for the teams if the circle is up top, but if it is, look for it to potentially favor a Vengar again. What we really need is a circle down by Valle de Mar to get a few new teams up in the lead and blow this thing wide open. Because up on the top, we'll get right back to business as usual.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time to head over to the commentators. Moses and Demon, once again, game number 3, boys, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, a bunch of adjustments, as you kind of pointed out there. Penta looked like they're going Paraiso, but Crew were kind of dropping alongside them, so there's been a sort of a, I don't know what's going on there. Fenerbahce, Penta all kind of spread out. Obviously,
game of chicken.
The fact was, they obviously, Avangard had been going Tierra Bronca and Campo Militar. Penta had been going El Azahar, and you can see, well, the circle has now gone south as well. So Avangard made this adjustment and gone into La Cabrera up the top there, which has forced Jokers out to the left as well. So they've kind of been forced out of their home. So a bunch of nomads in this game. Nobody's really sure what home they live in. And it does seem that they're going to have to make some adjustments. And there's a strong possibility of a Los Leones finish.
Indeed it does. Al Pachinki would be the benefactor of that. OHM there as well. Avangar. It's Max's over taking some Scar Iron Sight long distance shots.
Adventurous, I think, is the best word.
Yes, yeah, no doubt. It's ambitious as well.
There was an attempt.
There was an attempt. If I'm TSM, I finish my loot phase ASAP, and I try and find one of those god-building structures to the north of Leonis. It's free right now. There's a little bit of vision there, obviously. We don't get to choose the rotate phases here, but for TSM, if they want to avoid what's been happening to them on the edge of the zone, which is mostly getting destroyed by Penta, I try and find one of those ridge buildings in the center of the play zone as fast as possible. But if I'm SDF, I have the same idea. Essentially, anyone on the northern side of the play zone is going to want to come in on that side, try and get to the north of Leonis, avoid getting into the city. Penta going for a split loot strategy between both Al Pachinki as well as OHM. They have FB nearby, that's at Fenerbahce, and Crew, who just left Impala for free. So I wonder if anyone's going to maybe rotate past there and check it out. But it's one of those things where you just have to assume Impala is going to be filled, so maybe Impala just goes unlooted this game.
Isuba way down south of Valle del Mar. There's actually only 2 of them here. Super looks like he's going to be joining them as well. But Crew, a team that we just mentioned that they have been finishing consistently, and that's what they did through the qualifiers. They were consistent finishing. It's what got them the points, and really that is all you need to do to just get in the top 8, to just consistently finish in a decent position. You don't need to light the world up.
Pick up a couple of kills now and again. You know?
just get involved. I mean, I felt they were a little asleep in that last game. While they did manage to get their kills, once they finally got discovered, they were wiped out within about 2 seconds.
They were asleep in their beds. On the ground, just laying down.
Laying, praying, staring at the ground, hoping that nobody passes them by. But they are down in Puerto Paraiso, which actually is inside the circle. Impala free, by the way.
Yeah.
We thought
they
Penta
might know
was going
that.
to drift that way.
They might know that as well. I mean, if they were in there long enough, they probably would have been maybe at least looking that direction. Penta did go that way, so I don't think that Crew is going to want to venture up and spread out too much, but they do have the compound Avangard was using last game as an option to them as well. But yeah, I mean, OHM last game was really weakened at the edge of the zone and still managed to just easily roll over Crew. So I'd like to see a little bit more aggression, especially when you have the information from your flank defender just looking back behind you saying, here comes OHM, oh, we're dead.
Great dropping in Picado. That's a nice delivery for Gamers Loot. Gamers Legion. Gamers Loot, kind of mixing up the old name of Loot Goblins.
When you can't bomb Pachinki over and over again, you might as well drop something else. In this case, it's crates.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised nobody challenged them at Picado, really, for this. Obviously, you know, formally, everybody knows it's Team Liquid's spot, right? So Liquid not at the tournament, so people are like, okay, let's challenge for it. AWM going to Bjorn, along with a medkit in there as well. And, of course, the level 3. So very, very happy Bjorn there. I was about to say Swede, but I'm not too sure if he's Danish. I got a feeling he is.
Feels good, man. Getting the first crate of the game dropped right on top of you. 5 minutes in, level 3 helmet. That's a confidence boost, to say the least.
Ooh, did he lose tire? He's lost his front tire. Did pass on by, I think it's Fenerbahce and Penta. So both probably taking shots. I mean, he's going to have to venture further south. Very far ahead of the rest of his team, so kind of on his own. Found himself another buggy. He's happy. Off he goes. So we're looking to try and find a compound early on.
Fenerbahce Esports and Buggies, name a more iconic duo.
Well, will we see them lose a player
again?
Early again.
Yeah. This would be the 3rd game in a row. Hey, nice little assist. Umino says thank you. I wanted this one.
So 7, obviously coming down from San Martin, making that journey south. Velen and co from G2 also very nearby. TSM are the ones that are taking shots on Mumino's backside there. Crab, obviously, we just heard the in-game leader 4-7. There's G2 in the distance, all making this journey south. Gamers Legion also making the move out of Picardo, going to be joining this migration, a mass migration. I'm somewhat surprised to see so many still, like our Pachinki and OHM, staying in Los Leones. I would have thought they'd have started to sort of go to the edge by now.
I think they're just looting. I mean, when you have all of Los Leones to kind of spread out, you don't want to get too spread, especially in a complicated area like Leones. We're seeing G2 actually having their rotation slow to a crawl here as Mumino and company come up behind. G2 has not been having good rotations in this game and the previous one at that.
Name when they've ever had good rotations.
Yeah, they've never had. I mean, really, G2 unproven to say the least. But hey, look, a tree. And for Jokers, they found themselves a god complex. G2, I think that they stopped a scout there. They're going to move on, but they've now allowed 7 to get in front of them. And 7 has actually taken my advice and come in just to the north of Leonis into the God building. So that's a good pickup for 7.
So that's what I'd expect, right? Al Pachinki actually managed to catch Chris out, so Chris is on the rotate. He's actually a long way
That's a big loss.
away from his team. That may be a down player. Brexco trying to come in and help him out. Alliance getting in there. He was just peeking a little too much on the hillside. Should be safe to get the revive in. Looks like
he's pretty far away from the rest of his squad. Brexco is moving his way, or at least from the
Crew nearby as well. Crew are moving on this, so Crew might get there first, but Brexco, yeah, look, that's a distance to run still.
And he's up on the rocks.
Udir on the buggy.
Yeah, no
Is he going to try and launch it? Is he going to try and launch that buggy?
He should.
They didn't get to see it. Oh, man.
Just try and rock it up
there. Get to see Mumino smash into a tree, though, instead. So everybody kind of posting around the edge of Los Leones. You don't want to go in. It's like a vacuum. As soon as you get near, you get sucked into Los Leones. And once you're in, you're in. There's no way out. Udir will make it. The revive is coming out.
That's good. I mean, Chris has been very, very pivotal for Penta so far in these first 2 games.
Highest damage dealer, highest frag so far. 12 kills.
Mostly killing TSM, I think.
12 kills in 2 games. That's more than some people were picking up in the entirety of GLL's 15 games.
Including Yempty.
Including Yempty, yeah. Actually, one of his worst performances, I guess.
Ever,
safe to
as
say.
far as I can remember. Yeah. But I'm sure they'll bounce back, Team Liquid. So now the question is, with this first shift, if you're 7, you've picked up a great spot, but if it does shift south, rotating to the south is going to be nuts. Look at this density in the center of the map. Alliance, they're active, and they have a lot of company. Penta, Fenerbahce Esports, OHM, Alpha Chinky, so many.
Oh, Zuktet Nam catches Evil out on the rotate. And Miramar is just looking to see if anybody else is coming.
I was done with my car just to save a couple of bullets.
Perfectly done. Yep, I'm just going to run.
And
boom. Is that crunching noise?
The sack of potatoes off the front of the car.
So Zukta Nam leaves in the first player in this 3rd match of the day. 10 matches in total to be played. 5 in Group A, 5 in Group B. Group B, you're going to be seeing the likes of Accelerate, who've done very well recently. Method, of course, in their team ready. And some of their big names, of course. M19, a large portion of the GLL Season 2 winning team there. Jokers trading in the streets, not something I'd normally do there.
Do you have any melons?
They're big, they're round, they bounce along the ground. Watermelons. There we go. So there's a little jingle I've remembered for so many years from a holiday god long ago.
1971 was the
probably
year.
On the beaches, yeah. Well, back when it was a good time.
What are you doing?
Wow, they
you might as well set up a cart. I just want just a vehicle just to cut. Look how far. Look where they are. They're they're in Pozo. They're littering. Bunch of degenerates. Pick up your pop cans. What's wrong with you?
And then like Hicks, they jump in their pickup trucks and head off into the distance. Yeehaw! Avantgarde, of course, heading down south. They did decide to go all the way up to the northern spot after dropping in and around La Cabrera. They're still taking similar rotation paths, despite the fact they did go up to La Cabrera. So obviously, you know, going with the paths they know that have been coming down Campo Militar, El Azahar, it's worked out so well for them, taking that far east coast road. So despite the fact they went La Cabrera, they've gone all the way over to the east to come down the same routes.
That center density is really, really starting to increase. Not a lot of lines of sight to engage. But that Leonis area, the center point of this first circle, and just look at that center density. It's a rainbow down there. Avantgarde late as per usual, with TSM engaging in the split. And you know what? I think I have been talking about TSM splitting compounds for as long as I can remember. This makes a little bit of sense, but they're split in a way that they're lateral across the map. They're not split north and south. So even if it shifts all the way south, they're all going to have to move anyway. Yeah. So with TSM's specific strategy in this way, I understand it, but I think they could maybe, yeah, see, they're both out of the zone now. So now, how are they going to make their way in? They're going to have to edge their way through Gustav, probably going to have to go in the lead vehicle and come a little bit further to the east.
Penta are golden right now, aren't they? Again, sitting in that double compound. They went for the 2-2. They had the hillside. They decided, okay, let's join together. It's a bit too wide a spread in this 2-2 moment. Probably a bit too exposed. So they're going to split either side of the road, I guess. So DMA5 is probably going to pull up there. No?
Pulling south is going to be a big choice here for a lot of these guys.
Split either side of the road, and now everybody... And this is the problem, right? While we're looking at this, nobody wants to be in Los Leones. So while it is a large circle, you can chunk out that entire northwest area because nobody will be in and around there.
Oh, boy. G2 in rotation. Here we go. Into an open field. Oh, boy.
Comp's ready for it. Melman's getting in position for it. They're going to try a long range spray, and Zyphon's going to get picked off. That deadly buggy. Always going to be the first to go. Everybody's... As soon as you see a rotation and somebody is in a buggy, that's going to be the first vehicle to go down.
Executed. Well, they only lost one. That was actually more or less than I expected them to do in that rotation. So for Compod and the rest of Tornado, they have picked themselves up an easy kill, and G2 is going to limp into the zone.
Well, it has gifted them the 16 points for that kill, and obviously the loot that Compod's going to get.
Yeah.
They still need to make the rotation. They're outside the zone just as much as G2 were, so they either go north now,
so G2's
and go head to the north of Los Leones, or they follow G2's path.
Yeah, they're gonna follow G2, who's now run into Gamers Legion, who's picking them apart as well. So for G2, the rotate not going that well. Alpachinki, similar situation. However, they will dart up the hill and away from OHM, letting them know they're there. They're going to take a lot of damage in their vehicles, but no casualties, luckily, for Alpachinki.
Well, Joker's continuing on a big swing right around the southern edge, the southwest side. Avantgarde are on that southeastern road. They're making their way down, and once again, they're coming in behind Sans Domicile, which is no surprise. We just heard, obviously, an Octave saying, look, we take similar routes with Penta, which is probably why we're clashing with them. Sans Domicile as well. They've been going around Graveyard area, looting around there. So also very similar paths, which is why they're also coming down that eastern road. It makes sense. Porto Paraíso is completely free, completely open. Nobody's really been down that way. So all of those compounds around that edge are viable.
TSM has chosen to go east. Going to engage the split once again, the lateral split across two compounds. Hopefully they'll get a little bit better circle luck this time around. We will see Michael take down Antidald from long distance with a headshot on the Car 98. And for now, there's Avantgarde specifically in SDF following similar paths as they wrap south to try and find an open spot in the zone.
Michael just takes a pivot and swings and takes Hamster down as well. That's literally looking east side, looking west side. Why not just have a little back and forward there? You can see him on the top of this ruins.
Alliance went out last in 60, or I should say Alliance went out in 16th place in the last game. So this is hopefully a turnaround for this team, looking to try and have a better effort this time around.
Yeah, it's a scary thought, right? You're getting 0 points. When you look at Penta and Avantgarde picking 500 points up, it's a huge, huge swing. between the two. G2 have found their home way down south. Pretty much everybody inside the circle now, fairly much set up in their spots as Fenerbahce getting caught out in the crossfire. BSD picked off by Vazku as they try and... Well, I think they were testing a little too close to Isuba. Yes, there you go. Isuba going to finish off the frag there as Marco De Vecchio is close enough, but forget the smoke, not needed anymore.
So did no line of sight. Got a decent hold. Couple of shots ringing out. I believe they're also looking at Isuba, a little bit further away from where they're situated to the north. And there is G2 is coming all the way south. They're now at the very southern edge of the zone. We'll see now if they're going to get lucky. If they get a northern shift, they're going to have to come now behind Zoktin Nam, Jokers, Fenerbahce Esports, as well as Isuba. So for G2, they've made it to the south. We'll see if they're going to have enough time to relish in that fact, as we're about to see yet another phase change. Penta dead center again, in a nice split as well. See, this is that north-south split.
Yeah, and well, I mean, if you look where they were on just on the northern ridge of it, right? So they've kind of really not had to move much. 7, by the way, committing to central Los Leones. It goes the circle. It's Penta. They're looking golden at this event. Could they really be in the top 2-3 rounds running? Udime Fire already sending it, already going for the crossroads. Brexico and his teammates staying where they are. That's not the sort of rotations OHM are looking for at the start here. Penta, they've gone very, very close to Isuba. Zupa has just seen them pulling up. That crate, that's way over in Los Leones next to Alliance there. And immediately, I think he must have just ran him over, come around the corner straight away.
TSM is going to...
Penta got it. They got there. Kane and Brexico actually got there. They've been in this compound for a while. Udime Fire and Chris also sent it, so they've gone for this north-south. Oh, not sure about a 2-2 split at this stage.
I like the idea, but they're pretty far away, especially for the next phase, which is kind of what they're hedging against. They're going to hold this split. The north-south split in the later zone is what you're trying to accomplish, essentially just trying to maintain that zone position. But there's going to be no backup. If they get pushed by Alpachinki, if OHM gets a knock, something like that, anything could really go wrong for Penta. But they're hedging their bet, so we'll see if it works out.
Avantgarde pushing up onto Sezco. I think he's been caught out, separated from his team. He has.
Yep.
So that will be a kill for Avantgarde, of course, who've absolutely been killing it so far. 2 chicken dinners back-to-back in the first 2 games. Just about the dream start for the Kazakhstani organization.
Magister has got some house guests in his basement.
Well, the team leader for Alpachinki, it seems, is in some desperate trouble. The rest of his team already
Seven's shooting at him
long away from this one. Yeah, 7 also popping shots through the door just to add insult. Probably thinking they caught OHM off on the rotate, right? But poor old ex-Magister just being camped out on the top there. Only got so many smokes left. I think he can't even bail out the window, right? If he try and bail out the window,
he'll get shot by 7 if he does that.
Yeah, he's just going to get caught out.
He's in trouble. We'll see if he can, maybe OHM will line up for him, but they've got one outside waiting for the vault. So maybe 7 can put some pressure onto the exterior OHM, but it's the correct nade. If he hears the pop, maybe he pushes. If not, he's owed to be in a couple of different pieces. Oh, he actually decided not to throw the nade. That's another smoke just to keep himself relatively out of line of sight, but from Magister, who's going to be first?
He's just trying to decide on what's the best position.
Oh my God, it bounced out the window.
I would have laughed if that
kills his teammate.
That would have been hilarious.
Try again. Here
Okay,
we go.
Here comes another one.
Oh, there it is. That's in your lap.
That's in your lap. You're not getting out of that one, mate. And that's going to be the job done. So Magister's going to get flushed out if they can find him in the smoke. It's like
in here somewhere.
It's crawling around trying to dodge in the smoke. Well, I guess he buys time for his... I don't really know what he's buying time for, to be honest. He's just delaying the inevitable.
He's dead.
Delaying the inevitable. Alliance are the last team outside of the circle. They're going to move the way in. TSM, by the way, up on the northern edge. Avantgarde also on the eastern edge. They've kind of pushed in and around.
That was the most tentative 4v1 I've ever seen, by the way. Just like, hold on, we have to really think about this.
And as Miramar often delivers, we are approaching the 20-minute mark without a great deal happening just so far. Just the 5 people dead in rotations. And now we're looking at Dimash taking a peek. But the next circle, this is when it's all going to happen. This is when it all happens. Phase 4 really livens things up on Miramar. Penta, this 2-2 split, it's a risk, but it seems to have paid off for them so far. And again,
There
it
it is.
pays off so far. Again, Udio and Chris
Let's see how
made that risky push, and Brexco and Kane just going to join them.
Let's see how fast they can get across to their teammates with Chris and Udir. If Brexco and Kane want to make a vehicle run right now, they have to go right ASAP. So for Jokers, they're making that press up the ridge. They've got a bit of a line here. So for Fenerbahce Esports, they're going to be defending. Oh boy, not going well.
They caught 2 down. Senya gets zonked down. Marco Devecchi picked off as well. Kalendor, the last man standing, because Fenerbahce, they do struggle to keep 4 alive early on. That nade, right into the room, and good night.
Marco's down. Fenerbahce Esports on the ropes with Jokers swarming, having come in from the zone. And that western side is about to be a bloodbath as well. We see more Alpachinki players going down. Kalendor holding the edge. He saw them go up the stairs maybe. Oh, he's maybe seeing just the steps going by. But Fenerbahce Esports is facing elimination early here.
He's going to get 1 down. He's going to flush it as well. 16 points may well be the difference later on. Who knows? There's still lots of games to go throughout this tournament. But at the moment, Fenerbahce are going out in 16th place. Senya making sure he picks himself up a couple more kills. Meanwhile, Crew are getting obliterated by Tornado on the hillside there. Alpachinki have lost 2 already. Dream for You goes down, and the last man standing will also be flushed, and that is Crew being taken down by the whole of Tornado. Well, more importantly, just X-Team on Tornado. Seems to have got all 3 of them.
Crew, that's the second time in as many games as we've seen them just in a pile of bodies. What else do you need to say about this picture? Let's see it.
It's been their worst position.
Oh my
it
God.
was the Revivathon. A Revivathon coming in, and yeah, bam. Good night.
That's pro gaming right there. Unfortunately, that's where they'll be sitting. That's a nice, neat little stack of boxes. Kind of like Jenga.
Well, Tornado have actually gone into the same spot where they were, and 7 are coming in behind them. So is the same going to happen again? I don't think it's going to work out this time. Yeah, TSM, Ryan Avantgarde. Turtle gets downed at the back, but he manages to get the revenge. Gustav comes over the side there and flushes ads for him, which is pretty big. Avantgarde, of course, double chicken dinners back to back, and now Snoopy and Max Eyes are also being pressured in the distance.
That 3-1... the 3-1 tactic by Avantgarde biting them in the butt a little bit. It looks like they're going to try and go for the res on Turtle. The zone is closing, and that's going to be an important res for TSM as we see now this edge of the zone become a firefight along the western side.
Yeah, that southwestern spot is a nightmare. Jokers, Alliance, Zuktatnam, Gamers Legion, Isuba, and the one member of Alpachinki all clustered together on top of each other. Dimash spraying down Alliance. They are just having a nightmare start here in Minsk. It is really not going their way. Sigsy, the last man standing. Oh no, he's in a buggy. He's in all sorts of trouble. And that is Alliance out in 14th place. They got a big fat 0 in the last game, and 20 points is all they're going to get from placements. And I don't believe they got any kills either there. Meanwhile, TSM Rory finding 7. The nades, oh my god, Gamers Legion all stacked together. Those nades could be deadly.
Zoktanam pressing heavy. Very low health as Vasco, and that nade landed. Oh, excited, bounced out. That would have been disastrous.
Oh, Mackendog did get down by his Kudatastic also picked off. Hamster comes out. He's going to be the superhero.
Oh,
as he takes down Vasco and Kudatastic. Beyond down by third party and gets involved as Swalker manages to catch him around the side. Hamster, the last man standing, gets around the back. He's surely. Pan deflected so much, but he takes down Aki, and Zuktak Nam will get down. Dimash watching it all play out.
Oh my god, the nades were bouncing just out of range. One bounced out the window, one bounced off the windowsill. And Gamers Legion just barely survive. And guess what? Here comes Isuba to give you your prize. It's another team fight. Well, Isuba's coming all in force now. They've heard what's happening next door, and they want a piece of the action. Zoktan Nam had the ability potentially to completely turn that around with 3 men down and 1 man up. A little bit low on health, but Hamster just barely hangs on.
The nades are coming in. Oh, he's
on fire!
Oh, he's down. Oh, no. Hamster. A burning Hamster. You never want to see it, but wow. 12th place for Gamers Legion. At least they picked up kills this time around, though, but Isuba capitalizing on that. But the problem is Isuba's obviously push and capitalization is going to backfire. The circle has gone away from him. Penta already on the move. It's gone towards Sans Domicile and Avantgarde. They're all inside the zone, along with G2. Finally got some placements working out for them in that little compound.
I like Avantgarde's positioning, and rip to Hamster. And that's PUBG in a nutshell, where you win a narrow team fight only to be instantly eliminated by somebody else. Isuba is going to bail out. Seti, that's Set I7, I should say, as he Last man for a squad. We've seen a good fight here so far for Tornado.
Do you think he'll upgrade tonight? Huh?
Yeah, maybe. Depends how this tournament goes.
Oh, Penta getting lit up. Hello. Finally seeing a bit of a change here as Tornado X Team gets up his 4th frag, 11 kills and counting.
TSM is right on top of
Tornado already with still 28 alive. Incredible stuff. And now they're looking across. They're looking towards TSM and Avangard. Trading blow for blow, and Tornado pick up another couple of kills. As Snoopy goes down, 7 get eliminated by Melman in the distance, and now there's another clash. This SLR is racking up the kills for X Team right now.
TSM was in the middle of a team fight, and now here comes Tornado to a third-party Avangard who's just completely pinched. Rari gets the finish, and more points for TSM, but they are not out of the woods yet. 7 is going to be completely open, or sorry, excuse me, Tornado Energy Battle is going to be completely open to shoot at TSM on the way into the zone. But for Avangard, this is not what you want in game number 3.
Well, TSM have got themselves a better spot now. Tornado chucking down the smokes and going aggressive, looking for the fight. Camkid got down, so he's going to get revived by X Team. TSM down low. Meanwhile, Penta are getting pushed. D-Mash comes around the side and gets Kane down. That's all over on the eastern side as those teams clash as we watch the TSM battle playing out against Tornado Energy.
This is what TSM needs to try and get an aggressive foothold in the zone. Now we're in the western side where things are continuing to pop off one team at a time. Isuba, Jokers, Penta all together. OHM trying to limp their way in. SDF playing gatekeepers in the zone. And there goes OHN trying to make their way in. Not going to make it. Isuba is strangely split, but Jokers are actually getting the upper hand on the edge of the zone, it seems.
Yeah, they came in so late. D-Mash will go down to the play zone, though. Brexco just tossing out that nade. That went very close to Senor, I feel. You can see them backing away from it. Senor and Tab in the distance. Meanwhile, you can see in the picture-in-picture, this is a battle that's playing out over in the northern side as we see Al Pachinki going down in 9th place to that play zone. Tornado back over on the east. As X Team goes for the push. Melman gets himself an octave. Turtle goes down. Avangard flushed out, finally in 8th position. No chicken dinner for them this time around. Back over to the eastern side as Jokers, the Tab. Senya down. Isuba's going to get the revive on. The circle will retract. It goes towards G2. TSM and Tornado continue to battle. The Turtle gets flushed out. Isuba go down. Then it's Joker catching him out.
Regardless of how this goes for the next couple of minutes here, it looks like TSM has secured themselves at least another top 5 finish with all team members still alive, unless they did lose one there, it looks like. So for TSM, they have a split now between Tornado Energy Battle where they can kind of defend. They're in the zone. Melman's on the flank. Rari's watching that direction, but G2 is firing from distance, preventing them from getting up this ridge line. So they're using the smoke. And look at Melman. He's on the high side. He's not getting punished. He can look down on the Wookie Bookie. Joker's now making the play onto the SDF compound, who are trying to defend on the edge of the zone, but really it's all about Tornado and TSM right now. Melman's been caught on the flank. TSM hemmed in. This is not looking good for them. They're all on the ridge line, and here comes the push from Tornado.
Camco over the top. They can see X Team desperately trying to get himself an angle. He's found one. He gets a little peek on Gustav in the distance. Wookie Bookie creeps out, and this is really a battle for the north, and more importantly, most likely a winner, because the way the circle is, once they've taken control of this whole northern edge of the circle, with 16 kills so far, Tornado.
Oh, they're forgetting about Wookie. They're forgetting about Wookie. He's running right past him. This is going to be good for TSM if they can get this kill. Gustav is now on the low side. There it is. Wookie Bookie shoots out of the smoke. He misses. Oh, that's Rory going down.
Rory down. Gustav's going to try and make a break for it, but that is TSM in all sorts of trouble. Meanwhile, the Jokers gets taken down on the east side by Sans Domicile. Melman will flush them out. 17 kills and counting now for Tornado Energy Battle, looking for some sort of record here in Minsk. G2 left with 3 alive, Sans Domicile with 3 alive, Penta still with Chris standing in the top 5 unbelievably, while Tornado Energy Battle hold themselves 3 players and the top north position on the hillside, and now they go looking for frags onto G2. You see the battle going back and forward.
At some point, Rory Wookie Bookie was replaced by Rory in that smoke.
Yeah.
So regardless, I like the idea there, but Rory just unable to execute. But Gustav has found himself a top 5 finish. That's what they want here. He's also in the zone. Ooh. Tornado, wow, just rolled through that northern side. Now they get all this time and space to just kind of slink into the zone, but G2 is playing the factor in the center. They didn't have a great start, but now they have that 2 compound split they can kind of use to maintain control of the southern side.
That ridge line that X team is on is still inside the zone. So Tornado going to hold this northern edge still and be able to have a good peek over everything that's going on. We just saw a glimpse of Chris there. He's in a great little spot. He's not going to get spotted. He's also level 3'd up, so he's going to be able to take a fair amount of punishment. Meanwhile, Sans Domicile, Howlo getting caught out in the open. He's going to be picked off. It's Kamka that's going to steal the kill. It is 18 kills and counting for Tornado. They're going to hit 20. That's 300 plus points they're going to collect. 320 to be precise, that they could collect if they can hit that 20 kill mark, which it looks like they're certainly capable of right now.
They've got the ridges to work with. Tornado, I think they might lose out a little bit as G2 is going to start to clean up SDF. This is now the best showing we've seen from G2. Only 1 kill. They've had the benefit of the zone for most of this game. Gustav is going to have to snake for a little while, so for TSM, the best they can hope for is another couple of placements, as there's a few solos in play with both Chris and Steph, the last men remaining for their team.
At the moment, Chris is relatively safe. Unless Tornado really over-peak, they're not going to see him because he's down on the ditch below them, so won't see him across the side there. Steph, the last person standing for SDF. Of course, Gustav in there. There's a knock. There's a headshot. Melman gets downed. He will be able to crawl himself back and get revived, though. But these guys have been in a lot of action. I wonder just what sort of meds they've got left, how much they're bleeding out when they do get knocked out, because they've been engaged in so many fights as they've pushed for position. Steph's taking advantage, using the smoke to try and creep down to the tractor. Chris spotted. Chris gets a peek across. Actually, it's Kamka. Tell a lie, it's Kamka going for the shots.
They want 20. Tornado's decided they want 20 kills in this game. Steph is stuck behind the tractor. Chris is just like, yeah, well, I'm sorry they saw you first. And Kamka is trying to get something going. The zone actually at the back of Tornado as well. Now Steven is going to start letting go with that M24. Gustav again is snaking his own right. X team taking a couple of shots off the top, and that is going to be Wacko going down and Steph out. So that is now almost 20 kills for Tornado, and that's a 4th place finish minimum for Penta.
Down inside the house, and the circle goes to Tornado Energy Battle. Of course it does. They all have to cross this road. The circle basically stops on the edge of the road, the eastern side of the road, which means they are all completely exposed in their push. Smoke's got to get go down. They need to get Wacko back on his feet ASAP, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Stephen Avella not even attempting to go for it, so he's going to be bleeding out. That's going to be 20 kills and counting for Tornado Energy Battle as they massively overpeak there.
That was almost Melman getting a shot in the teeth, but Steven, he's going to be able to hold his vision for a while. And oh, look at that. Gustav has spotted Chris. He's the solo, so he probably wants to kill him there because Wacko's now out. And who do we have here? That's Gustav. He's looking at Chris, and he wants it, man. That's going to be an important kill for TSM if they want to take top 3.
That's kill number 20. As
who's going to get it?
Wacko go down. So Tornado on 20 and counting. Possibly the biggest performance we'll see at this LAN. I mean, who knows? This is a monster. To get 20 kills is pretty impressive. To go something like that. There's the smokes going down. Chris realizes Gustav's there. And Chris could be a difference here to Tornado, actually, because he's the easiest position to flank around. Gustav gets himself an easy angle on Steven there. Will get himself 1, flushes to 16 kills, and probably will be the target now of Tornado. If they can look down towards him, they can't see him. They can't peek because they have to deal with Velen first. Velen goes out into the blue. He drops down, and Kamka finds him. And now they go looking to execute the remaining 2 players. It is just Gustav for TSM and Chris for Penta. Could Penta get a 2nd place again?
Gustav is running for Chris. Gustav is running for Chris.
He sees Chris. I think he just got an angle on him, but now he looks across, sees them in the background, gets a spray down, and next team switches across looking for Chris. He knows he's around there, looks to the only push, he finds him, gets the head on Chris, looks back around the side. Gustav gets another one down as Kamka gets flushed down. Melman, the last man standing for Tornado Energy Battle as TSM go hunting for the chicken dinner. Gets himself he can't quite do it. And Tornado Melman will in the end save the blushes. And 22 kills for Tornado Energy Battle. And TSM, Gustav, wow, so close to pulling off a superhero move and stealing the chicken dinner.
Oh my God, that was looking like disaster for Tornado. And you can see the looks on their faces. They're like, oh my God, Gustav is like, yeah, what up? So, I mean, wow, that was a A heroic effort. I love the composure from Gustav. That is exactly what TSM has been missing. I love that down and kill, and then Velen and the rest of G2 gets annihilated by Tornado on the high side, and he immediately knows there's a solo. I can go get another placement. He takes down Chris. He guessed at the bush. He nailed it, and he almost stole that game from Tornado.
Placement points are big as well, though. That's 330, I believe it is, placement points for second. Got himself 5 kills as well, TSM, but wow, 22 kill performance. So 400 points, obviously from the chicken dinner placement. Kamka looking cool as you like there, as we heard on camera just before it as well. But 22 kills, what's that? 356 points, I believe. 352 points.
Yep.
352 points, I think, is just from kills alone, along with the 400. So 700 plus point game. Incredible stuff.
That's
from Tornado Energy. But don't forget, they also
very
got
even. Look at all these. Like, I mean, they all had 6,
it's a
7
decent kill
kills.
spread, yeah. And I think they had like 9 kills in game 1, right? And then they had a couple in game 2. So Tornado Energy battle. You know, a lot of people obviously looking at this and talking about a lot of the Western teams, the European West teams, obviously, that we're going to see a lot more of in Group B. But never write off. If we've learned one thing from GLL, 3 seasons, never write off CIS teams, because they can turn up and absolutely bang with the best.
Tornado had a tremendous game. I mean, it was really along the northern side as they slowly, as a rolling pin, just cleared it out as they made their way south. And that epic move by Gustav was pretty legendary as well. Penta did find themselves in the top 3, not in the way they probably would want, but that's another great finish for Penta. So I guess the real story there is
second, third. I mean, that's incredible. They're going to be at the top of the table.
Avangar went out a little earlier that time as well. So
8th, I think it was for Avangar. So yeah, wow. What a performance! What a performance! I love seeing teams like that. I mean, if you think of their move on TSM, right? You know, and who was the poor souls that was wedged between them?
I was G2.
No. Earlier on than that, before G2, before they got involved, they had some team that was sort of squashed between them. Either way, was it 7? It might have been 7 that was in there or something like that. Either way, but they managed to just push down, and then they just went full aggression. It was like, oh, well, let's take TSM as well. Let's continue rolling down the hill. What an amazing performance from Tornado Energy Battle. I can't even speak their names, but they can. They're with Dave.